is Chris's.
Just yay! There we go. Thank you, guys. You can put it down. Thank you.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm hungry. Everything has an alarm these days. If not, I forget.
Ready?
Ready?
I'd like to call to order a regular session of Trinidad Tourism Board on Wednesday the 24th at 9:01. Take a roll, Marty.
Campbell? Kress?
Here.
Michaels?
Here.
Miller?
Here.
Richardson?
Here.
Thank you.
Petitions or communications, oral or written?
There's no one signed.
I just wanted to say though that Steve Ruger took his position Monday morning, so he's on board now and get an opportunity to come by and say hi.
Thank you, Mayor.
And I'd just like to thank Marty for representing us good in front of the city council last Tuesday, and thanks for the good job that you did.
You're welcome.
Can you send that presentation to us?
You can talk on
You can watch it on YouTube.
But I'm not gonna find it on YouTube.
I gave my copy to Audra for file, so I don't have a copy, and then the other ones I distributed to council. So
You don't have an electronic, it wasn't like a slideshow or something?
No, it was all.
But Tom recorded.
Tom recorded it.
Just go to my YouTube channel. It's right there.
Channel 71.
Trinidad times TV 71.
I'll find it.
Wait.
Review Colorado Tourism Office grants.
So there are 2 upcoming grants from the Colorado Tourism Office, OEDIT's office. One is the Tourism Marketing Matching Grant. That grant is, opens, let's see, I have it all marked.
The deadline is typically in October.
September 1st.
I think it's the September, yeah. Opens September 1st. So we need to work on this as quickly as possible if we decide to go forward. It is a $40,000 grant, up to $40,000, but it is a matching grant, so it's 50-50. So if we applied for the full $40,000, we'd have to put up $20,000. They do ask for a letter of intent to proceed the application. And then we need, all the real paperwork and stuff that goes with it.
What's the plan for it? I mean, that's a hefty grant.
That's why I'm asking you if you want to go forward with this, because you need to have a plan. If you want to apply for the grant, what are you going to spend it on?
Well, it's for the project overview, strength of marketing plan, expectations, impact. I don't know, can we do something with outdoor and all the outdoor trails and the outdoor stuff that we have and put together a guide and what do you
Well,
think?
there is a guide being planned, a trail guide,
Like
by
a
the
hiking
outdoor
Right.
Office of Outdoor Recreation.
It's hiking trail.
Yeah, it's hiking trails. It's the same format as the cycling guide, the gravel guide.
And part of that could be the marketing plan for implementing it, putting information out about the guide and other areas. I'm trying to get the biggest bang for our buck in advertising.
Just to let you know that that guy that you're talking about, you might check with Jared because I think he was turned down for the grant application for that guide. You might check with him because I think I got an email from him yesterday or day before that said that. So we might change it.
And if you did, maybe we could put out our own too, utilizing Garrett at the same time for information.
Well, we could fund it.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
You can fund the project and let them handle all the details, but
There you
yeah, we
go.
can fund it.
Yeah.
So, is that the direction you wanna go? Is that a consensus or?
I've written this grant before and I've received this grant before. It's a hefty grant, it's pretty involved. And so I think
Actually,
Huh?
the last 2 I did were not that involved. I've got the application.
I think we need something really cohesive and a plan for some of this, and we're kind of all over the place always, without a lot of direction. And I don't know. I feel like we should try to apply for it, but it's an involved grant. And so, I think going back to that sort of consultant or somebody to sort of work with us to come up with a roadmap of the best way to really market ourselves where we're at now at this point in our evolution post-COVID is still something that we should.
I think though in in the time that we were looking for one and we haven't found one, I think we should maybe kind of proceed with some of these things. you know,
Yeah.
And not let them go by the wayside. You know, so-
I don't disagree, I just, we need to know what we're gonna be putting this $80,000 towards if we get it. And be really specific.
When is that? When is the grant due actually?
It opens September 1st, I believe it's the 15th.
So your letter of intent has to be in by then?
Mhm.
But the grant is actually due in September?
Mhm.
Application.
Yeah, I think it's a small window, right?
Mhm.
This is for people pre-planning. Let's see. No, it says it closes in October.
Yeah.
This one closes October?
So
Must be the other one.
what I was gonna say is that you guys send in your letter of intent, if it's in October, give you a little opportunity to put together your plan.
I mean, if we were specific about a trails guide, then, and I haven't seen the trail guide that Jared is doing, I think it would be lovely if he would work with Juan and pay for the same design, the same graphics person who does Juan's books. And, make them somewhat consistent.
Well, they're not Juan's books.
I
Yeah.
know,
They're
That's
to
part
be
of
Well,
honest,
but-
they're, but he did collaborate on that because it was cycling.
Yeah.
This is a hiking guide.
well,
So his collaboration on a hiking guide is with the Parks and Rec Department, the trails groups, and those.
I'm not talking about the trails specifically, I'm just talking about the way it looks and the way it feels, so that there's consistency.
Well, the
among
plan
all of
is
them.
to make a trail guide, a hiking guide, a cycling guide, and make maybe like an encyclopedia type, following the exact same design, so that you have, different guides for different things, and it's very consistent. It'll follow, all those.
And I think if
That's the
Jared has
process.
already started something and.
He has.
And he didn't get approved, I think it's something we should pick up and run with.
I'd like to know why it didn't get approved.
I'm not sure what he applied
Tell
for.
us,
I don't know what-
tell us what not to do.
I don't know what the dollar amount was that he was applying for. I couldn't, just check with him to see. Because these grants are, you apply for them. you
So
get your-
Talitha usually handles the grants. I can check with Talitha and find out what grant she applied for.
But I see what you're saying, Don, though, that we should all have the same sort of symbols on our literature, not,
Yeah.
Jared's got a different symbol than the tourism board has a different symbol than, and I don't know how to correct
I mean,
that.
I think with trails, like, it makes sense to me from a branding perspective, right? That you're gonna take that cute little book with the blue owl sitting on the handlebars.
It's a hawk.
Or hawk, sitting on the handlebars, right? And then you take that same hawk and you put them standing on some hiking boots, somewhere else, and maybe in the same, like, color value, but a different color for hiking. And then all the hiking trails, when we ever get some signs up, have that same symbol on it. And all the biking trails, if we ever put signs up, have that same symbol on them. And then if we do a historical trail, take that same little
And that's not
hawk
hard.
and put it on.
And that's not hard, we can,
No,
we can go with that,
yeah, but
you know.
there needs to be that consistent plan, and I think the same graphics person that I know Juan is working
Stephen
with,
Beneski is the individual that I work with on the cycling guide.
and for them to do those illustrations for each one, and making sure that that's really specific.
That's his plan.
Yeah,
So what I'm asking you is if that's the direction that you want to go in,
Yes.
is to help fund
Yeah, no,
that.
that's great, and Stephen does do great work.
well, and then with the marketing matching grant, you can buy advertising with those graphics in it, you can print the book, we can do a social media campaign, we can hire influencers.
We would have to
whatever those
put together a budget and outline everything that the funds were gonna be used for. So you've seen this, but I don't think the others have. Is that that? Wait, I wanna make sure I'm handing you the right grant, because I have two of them in front of me.
And I don't know if it's changed at all, but that net grant, if there's something a bit more statewide and it's reached, then you're more likely to get all of the funding, I think, than if it's just localized, then you're more likely to get part of the funding. Is that still this case? Do you know, Marty?
I don't know, they have a different, I worked with Elizabeth O'Rear on this one, and it doesn't usually change much. So I can check on that for you, but,
If I could get a motion.
I make a motion that we go for it.
so a little bit more specific.
We
I need to make sure that we have it identified on what we're gonna apply for, how much, so we can apply for up to 40,000. If you want to do that, then you need 40,000.
and
So,
okay, I make a motion that we go for the 40,000 to go towards the hiking guide and subsequent marketing of that guide.
And I don't know if you need it detailed, but I think that sounds like a great motion, Chris. But, obviously some of that money I would like to take to advertise the guide and the trails in Denver and Springs and areas.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, and us marketing, so that was part of it.
Maybe you could get with Jared to come and tell us where he's at, or,
Oh, absolutely.
Alright.
Okay. Do I have a second or any
I'll
other discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 I made a
Sorry.
motion.
Any opposed? Okay. The second one is the Reimagine Industry Associations program. This program assists Colorado tourism industry associations to advance strategies that foster long-term industry resilience. This is part of the CARES Act Recovery Assistant Grant that the CTO office received in last year. The program objective is to enhance collaboration between state and industry tourism leaders, shared alignment on priorities to advance tourism, and implementation of one or more innovative tourism projects. Participating industry associations will receive 75 hours of free consulting to advance priority tourism projects and a $10,000 creative asset production shoot. So the Canyons and Plains Task Force has applied for this. The last one of this one, the Reimagine Reimagine Destinations program, and this one is kind of an extension of that. And so they did get 75 hours of consulting. So, we probably met 7 or 8 different times with our mentor that guided us on, what direction we wanted to do. We had to have a plan, obviously. Then we sat down with our mentor, and she helped us develop that plan and implement all the ideas that we had. And then what the CTO does is they offer you $10,000, and when it says creative asset production shoot, how the destination grant was that they posted it on the CTO website. That was what you weren't allowed to put it anywhere else. It went directly onto the CTO website. This one is a little bit different. I think what they're offering is to have somebody come and do a production in your community, but I need to clarify on that one. And we really do need some video. So if that's the case, then that's probably what we should do. We need video.
I have a question. The Colorado Tourism Office has been sponsoring some video of Trinidad, and I'm wondering who did it. Like, the video is pretty. It's like, oh, there's beautiful views in this historic town. And then they show some views, but they don't show anybody doing anything. They don't show anything in town.
It's one of my pet peeves when anybody does advertisement for Trinidad and the streets look dead.
Well, there's no streets. They're just showing pictures off of like Simpson's Rest and whatever. I'm like, this doesn't, there's beautiful views all over the state, so it doesn't tell anybody what you can
That
do
was
or what
when that opportunity came up. That was the only video we had, so I did send that one. I thought it was better than nothing.
Yeah.
But we need some video, real
Is that
bad.
why Carlos is here?
People are attracted to energy.
I'm here just because I wanted to listen to the meeting and see
Yeah,
what
no,
you
we
guys
do
are
need some video.
Yeah, and people are attracted to energy. So
Yeah.
we need to make sure we always have energy.
What do you need?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do video too.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom. Yeah, no, people are attracted to energy whenever you do anything, and whatever it is. If people, just similar to that note that we wrote about the trails. If you see trails with a whole bunch of people walking on them, more people want to walk on them. If you hide them in areas, people don't even know where they're at. We don't educate our populace about our trails.
A suggestion would be is that, if you guys do this, if you could time it whenever there's an activity or an event.
Or get video of those
There's
events.
a bike event coming up in a couple weeks. Like, we could use some of that to get some footage of people on some bikes.
Well, there's been so much good feedback from that Fox 21 that I think this would be good to build up with.
I have some boats we could use and put people on the lake.
Oh, that, yeah, and Tom probably does have, Tom has stock footage of almost
I
everything.
do, and I can also go out and get it.
So yes, I would like to make a motion that we do this.
Any other discussion?
The Reimagine Industry,
Industries.
No other discussion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Any opposed? Okay, so I'll put together the letters of intent and get those out and get with Jared and have him maybe do a presentation or something for you guys, since we do have a little time on that grant. Then we'll move forward.
Introduction and approval of a potential website manager.
I did invite Erica here. She's running a little late. I asked her to be here at 9:30. I thought we'd be a little bit longer, so if we can just
We'll go back to that.
go back to that one.
Approval of minutes for July the 27th, 2022. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes of July 27th.
We have a second?
I'll second. Wait, I can't second. I wasn't here at that meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, did everybody get a chance to look at the invoices, approval of invoices? We could just do them all at once if everybody,
I make a motion, we pay our bills.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
old business, passenger van bid. I don't know
So-
if anybody had a chance to look at that van.
It's rather a big packet, so I only printed one, I'm saving a tree. But you do have the pricing summary in your packet. The base vehicle price is $58,900. The options include the necessary equipment to make it ADA compliant.
I think we all have this.
We just have the front page.
Oh,
Yeah, you just have the front page, that's all the details if you wanted to look at it. And then delivery, $1,795. We do get a government price concession because it is a fleet vehicle, so they gave us a whole $1,000 off. And then the wheelchair lift package was $23,929 for a total of $88,559. There's a diagram of what it looks like. It does have 2 seats way in the rear, but those seats can be taken out when you need it for wheelchair accessibility. So it is a 13 passenger, 13? 15,
Maybe 12,
13 passenger van.
13.
Tom, so you spoke to Cheryl about this. We didn't need 3 bids because
No,
it was a
it's
fleet vehicle.
I was told that by Kim and
Right.
Mike.
Right, so we didn't need the 3
And
bids.
that's why I went that way.
And we probably couldn't have got them anyway because we had a really tough time getting just the one.
Yeah.
Because they're not producing them anymore.
I-
And we do have the funding in our reserve funds, so
I want to first of all thank Tom for your hard work to get this done, because it was not easy. And fleet vehicles are not available. They have that chip from China, and they haven't started, the cars were a problem for a while. But still may be,
I think
but,
we started in January.
yeah, but, congratulations that you got it one, and
you got it under a year.
Yeah.
That's pretty
amazing,
good.
yeah,
Well,
no,
time frame is, when do we get it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
But if we get it for 2023, I mean,
if we get it in
we're,
February, should be right.
we're starting new,
It's good.
and we have it, so.
So
Good
then
job, Tom.
you
And
can
I
look
think
at a
there's,
wrap or, advertising that you wanna do on the van and different things like that. We can discuss.
You know,
that.
when I was in Dana Point, inside of their trolley, along the top part of it had all these restaurants and motels that were advertised in it. And I think that's a golden opportunity for that van is that. And I don't know what color, I know we can't get the lime green, we won't be able to get the lime green,
No,
so.
it's white, but you can wrap it.
Yes,
You
we
can
can
add
have
your,
it.
you can add your wrap to it in any color you want, just like we did the trolley.
So I think it'd be and I think we could go back to maybe trying the motels again in the evenings and bringing them downtown and I think it's gonna be a
Taking
great
people to
asset
the
to
state
this.
park.
Mhm. And if city council
Lots.
needed to go somewhere, they they can all be in one van.
They can always rent it from us, so.
Yeah, you know, so.
Oh, we do make a whole whopping $50 a trip for the trolley now, every time there's a special tour, so
Yeah.
we can do the same thing.
The only thing is like, when we do develop a new welcome center, that maybe we could have some sort of a garage to house them, because we do pay, rent on both of them to house them, so. That would be one of my biggest recommendations, since it's all part of that, thing right there, so. Maybe we could think about that with Mayor.
Definitely, and we're thinking about that already.
If we could get a motion, maybe?
I motion that we move forward with the vehicle that Tom has worked, so that we have a second vehicle that's more utilized for our downtown area year round.
I second it.
For a total of,
$88,559,
$85,000.
85.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Just going for gas money.
It says 88,000 on mine.
Before Mike left, he was kind of surprised that it was that cheap.
Is it 88?
It says
Yeah.
88,559.
Oh, you're right, my bad. My apologies, I'm
Sounds
sorry.
We took a personal discount.
Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Yay.
When we get that, I think we need to sort of put on the agenda a plan to where it should go and like really think about the route and all of that.
Because the biggest benefit is the year-round use of it, you know.
And a wrap for
I mean,
How
you
we
know,
advertise.
yeah, I just, you know, that's a longer discussion, but yeah, I just see it so huge, you know.
digital kiosk. There was 3 bids on the digital kiosk, if anybody had a chance to look at them, or those of us who got to see the video of them. It was, the one that we did get to see the video was from Supa, is that right? And I think it was pretty informative, and he did answer the questions that we had asked, or the ones that I had asked.
Yeah.
So,
And Mayor, you actually watched that video as well and spoke to those individuals. What was your takeaway?
You know, it was a good presentation, you know, and that, like I said, I listened and I just turned it over to you to take a look at it and see what your thoughts are. And as I said, I think they're out of New York, I think, you know, or somewhere.
Maine.
Maine.
Yeah.
As long as, you know, we check the references and all that good stuff, I think, just like any one of those.
I think the thing is do we want to buy 2 or do we want to buy 1? We have a location for 1. We never talked about a second location.
I think both location, but also the advertising and what we want on it, I think is, well, at least with Supa, I don't know about the others. I mean, with theirs, I liked the idea that the town brand the actual device and that we have them sell advertising for the digital component. Personally, I think that's the best balance in terms of price.
As long as it's local advertising,
Yeah.
I don't wanna see outside
No,
advertising.
we
on it.
no, not, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right, you can't do
Well,
that.
according to, and when I spoke to them, we have total control.
Well, and I think having them take, it's not a huge percentage of the advertising that we get, but that onus of selling advertising doesn't fall on the city or somebody else, because that's really a pain to do. And so I think that's really important. That's a really big sales piece for this component, that they maintain that.
Now, if you were to buy 2, would you want to put the same advertisement on both or just different advertisements?
I would put different advertising, you have a chance
That would make more sense,
to
don't
do 2 things at once.
So the first location's decision is.
It'd be Miners Park.
And then I think the second one may be on Commercial Street over in front of the church by the photography, what's that?
That's a great idea too.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a bench there and there's some sculptures and that's kind of a nice place to be.
Agreed. So, on the first attachment A, it says for 2 signs, year 1 is $50,000, and then there's no other charges for that year. The second year, or there is $12,400 for year 2, and it carries through all the way to year 5, and our total for that year, or those years, would be $49,600. So our total cost comes to $99,600. After the first year, we would only be responsible for the annual service fees. So there is an additional service fee of $6,200 per sign per year.
And that is for who boards?
That's for SUFA.
SUFA's
How come I looked
This
at
was,
different
the
fees?
50,000 was, times 2, never mind.
I looked at different fees.
They said that this was the fee schedule for 3 signs, though it would be different for just 2. Their standard was 3 signs. And I do think if we did a 3rd sign, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put one up. I don't know if we can, because I don't know if it's all private property, but up on Highway 11 by the Wendy's, because so many people stop there to give them some idea that there's a town here.
The thing I would like to see is us be able to get this piece of property over here from the state, behind JR's, across from Sonic, do a parking area right there with that, and maybe some charging stations for cars.
Charging stations would be.
I know
And
that we talked about that sometime back with Mike, and of course, everything that's evolved from that time, we kind of left it flat, so maybe now that Steve's on board, we can revisit that in the near
I think
future.
That's that would be a huge asset to Trinidad,
Yeah.
because there's so much parking right there. And right now, it's just a mud hole. And the thing of it is, it's walking distance to Main Street, the Riverwalk, to right over to those
And
restaurants.
it takes 30 minutes to charge your car, so, I mean, you go up on Highway 11 and you see all those Teslas up there, and they're just standing around doing nothing, and they could be
And I-
spending money on Main Street.
And I think
But
that's a huge
it's,
asset.
with that being said, I think Tom's idea is really good, because if you put it up there and they're charging their car, they're still stuck in their car, they can't make it to town for.
That's why putting it in town makes sense,
Yeah,
like, that's why I hate seeing it up there, because none of those people are exploring town.
Has the city ever looked at that, Phil, about bringing some charging stations
As a
down?
matter of fact, I was gonna mention that I think there's a grant out through
Yeah.
infrastructure for charging stations. I'm not sure what, I saw the detail a while back, but I don't remember what it was all about. But that's a possibility.
I think there's a lot of money for that right
There
now,
is,
because
yeah.
the state just did it, and then with that new infrastructure package that the federal government passed, I think a lot of it is to try to encourage more of that as well, right?
Matter of fact, I'm not sure if CDOT would be involved or control of that.
But I
I'll check,
stumbled
I'll
onto
check,
that,
I'll-
yeah.
I'll check with
I think
the
it's a
chief.
good discussion to have with them, because they did offer it to the city, I can remember a few years ago, for $1 a year.
I'll check with they will be here Friday. Ajeen from CDOT, and I'm not sure she's the person that would know if it would be TJ Tebow. But I know that Ajeen will be here Friday, and I can discuss that with her, just kind of throw that at her and see what she thinks, if that's on her avenue or not.
I stumbled onto that recently, Mayor, like I was going through something and I saw that there was a grant out there for those. And that is such an excellent place to put it, because they can easily walk
Well,
downtown.
there's so many places to go to from there.
Or in our existing parking that nobody really utilizes over by Habaneros underneath the highway, you know.
That
we
is
could
a
put some,
huge place too.
we could put signs up that say it's public parking and then put some charging stations, like that's a possibility as well.
I think
That's a good idea.
I think this one here is so visible and so, easy to get in and out of.
Can we get back to this sign
Okay.
then? And
Well, Anyway, the other thing is how are we going to pay for this? Is it gonna come out of the reserve?
Okay,
Or
if
are we-
you would like it
or
to
is
come out
it-
of the reserve, or if you
are we
want to
gonna
hold
budget it?
off until we have the budget for 2023.
Well,
How much money do we have in reserve approximately?
There's
400 and something.
481,000.
We originally- we were talking about the reserve, and that's where the idea came up, so that was our original intention.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
You might want to check, just to let, for your information, that's where we're at, is that check with Cheryl, because a lot of the reserve money is being held too long. And you need to spend it
Spend
down.
it.
Yeah, and so we really need to do that. And besides that, the state of Colorado has 10% less in tourism this year. Trinidad hasn't seen that in their hotels recently, but the whole state is down 5 to 10%. So we need to be prepared for this year to be able to put out all the branding that we possibly can and hit it running and do as much good as we can. The people in hospitality are seriously concerned right now.
So what we'll do is we'll hear about it through the auditor.
Yeah,
right.
Holding on
Yeah,
for-
so then do we need to make a motion that we
Yes,
go
'cause we're gonna
forward
take
and
out
use it out of the reserves?
Yes.
Okay.
So I need to make,
Which
someone to make a
system?
motion. And what company?
So far, I think,
So-
does anybody wanna talk about all the other, food board or anything else in reference to this?
Supa was the
Is
best.
everybody good with SUPA?
I'm good with Super.
Then I'd go ahead and make the motion that we would go ahead and proceed forward to work with the community branded signs, 2 of them, with SUFA, and that money would come out of the reserves that we have saved. It's over $400,000 at this point.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I see Miss Erica's here, if we want to, invite her up. Tom,
Okay.
just a little bit of background. So Christy Rogers was our website manager. She's moved on and wasn't able, under her new contract with her new employer, to continue services working for a municipality. So being the tourism board is part of the municipal system, she could not continue. So she helped train one of our library employees, who was Sarah, who's also moved on. She got married and moved out of town. So I put out some feelers with Donna to see if we were gonna hire a individual that could handle all our social media. She said she doesn't know exactly where they are right now, but our website needs some work. So because we have the funding to do that through our outside contract services line in our budget, we can actually hire our own website manager. And Erica was introduced to me and she has some experience. So Erica, you want to come up and tell us a little bit about yourself and how capable you are of handling this?
Sure. Sounds good. I just got here. I moved here in July. And I am looking for work in website management and building. I am a former art teacher, high school art teacher. I've spent the last year training myself pretty intensely in web design and web building. So I feel ready to take on this challenge.
So before you have her proposal of work. Basically, everything remains the same as it was when we engaged Christy Rogers and Sarah. Nothing else has changed. She would still maintain the same number of hours working on the website at the same rate, and at our, direction. So if Dawn see something we need to put on there, she can say, hey, we need to fix this, or Si wants to fix something or whatever. Erica's there to handle all those changes and get us back on task, because we need to put up some new photos, we need to get some new videos.
So
We
you
need
do
lots of stuff.
content building as well as management?
I do.
Okay.
I'm capable of that.
Because content creation is a beast, right?
Yeah, it is. But as a teacher, I've done a lot of it. So. Pretty good at it.
So, have you been working with any other websites or any other companies yet?
Mostly just some freelance on my own, building on other platforms for small businesses.
And because we know that there's so many languages on those platforms, are you familiar with our language?
I'm familiar with several other platforms. This one is new to me. I kind of skipped over it since it's an older platform, but I'm happy to learn and expand my experience.
And I've just discovered that WordPress has a different platform that we can use. It's more of a drag and drop feature. So it's Elementor, that if we move into that platform, I don't think if there is a cost to change over to that platform through WordPress, it'd be a minimal cost.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, I always like to hear why people, there's always so many diverse stories of where they moved to Trinidad. How did you find Trinidad in?
We found it through Jen Green. I'm sure it's a small town, you know who she is. I worked with her at the high school. She actually recruited me to that high school. And
Which was where?
in Denver, it's an all-girls high school. Yeah, it's movement-based, it's a whole child philosophy. it was really a good time. Spent several years there. But we kind of got priced out of Denver. We were feeling like we needed a change. We spent a year in Texas because both of my husband and I have family there.
Where in Texas?
His family lives in San Antonio, mine's north of Austin, so we were kind of in the middle. Maybe not the best fit for us. We were also just really, in the time that we've been gone, we both went to school there, and the population has exploded along that corridor south of Austin. So we started looking, we're like, hey, Denver is a really big tech city. It's expanding south. Maybe if we go move to the corridor in Colorado, we'll be ahead of that growth instead of way behind. So we saw a lot of potential in Pueblo. We looked a lot in Pueblo. Jen heard what we were planning and kind of rerouted us here. We checked out Pueblo. She said, let me show you around Trinidad. And we just fell in love. It was great. We see a lot of potential here, especially as a recreation destination. I love the chance to be involved with the tourism board because I'm kind of an evangelist already. Yeah, really excited. We're outdoorsy, small town. We want to be part of a community.
So did you buy yet?
We did. Yeah.
Congratulations. In town or outside of town?
In town. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. We're really excited with what we found for our budget.
Great.
Thank you, Erica. So,
Thank you.
we go. I need a motion.
I make a motion that we hire Erica for the web management.
Thank you.
For Marty's
Second, Wallace.
recommendation and the questions we asked today.
Any other discussion?
I'll second, I thought I said.
I didn't have that contract in front of me. I just wondered how long the contract was for.
It is an open contract.
Just like Christie's.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I'm doing my fiduciary duty.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Who answers our Facebook questions, in the visitor that?
We all have the opportunity as administrative, those that have administrative privileges, and I thought I sent that to you, but I still don't see you on there.
I jump in now and then, you see what I post.
Yeah, so anybody that has administrative privileges on Facebook can answer those questions. And no, I have not. I have not had any time. Sarah was doing that. I'm really thin right now.
Was there a question that you saw out there you wanted to ask?
No, I just look at them and wonder if I'm supposed to answer it.
Oh, well, you can.
You can.
And so
Yeah.
you can, your representation of the board, so you're always conscious of what we say. And so, but yeah, you could jump in, and that's why you have the rights to do that. Sure.
I just want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
If it's
and
like your
the-
expertise, is there anything going on downtown Main Street this weekend? Of course, Main Street Live and all that's going on there. If they ask a hotel question, I jump in, just kind of server friendly.
Okay, in the interest of time, we're running a little short because the
Oh, yeah.
state's coming in, so let's do those last three items. Tom?
Renewal of True West advertising, $29.95 for a full page ad.
So typically in True West Advertising, we do 3 ads per year. And they're almost always in specific magazines. So it might be the museum's magazine, or it was historic hotels, or they all have specific months where they feature different things. Because
I'd like to just say something about True West, because I've been involved in many years of advertising with True West, both with the tourism board and a few other venues. And I really want to say that there have been so many times, and Mayor, you may know, over the course of the last 20 years, we posted in the top 10 here, and 3rd place here, and 2nd place here, and 4th place here, and honorable mention here, but it is time we win. And I would like to bond with True West Magazine and make sure our advertisement is on, and let them know our intent. I want to be heard. I want to be seen in Trinidad. There are so many times we get in that top 10 list and we have never got number 1 with what's going on in tourism in the state. I want to be number 1 in Trinidad in True West Magazine.
I
That's my
second
speaking.
that.
Went heavy on that one.
So if you'll save your editorial calendar and ad planner that I think is on the 4th page or 5th page, it shows you the special features for that month, best of the West, top Western towns, et cetera, et cetera.
I do also want to add, and just a jump out of one of the reasons why I like the True West magazine, besides it is the #1 magazine that people look for true Western areas, is they supply free magazines to all the hotel rooms in Trinidad. So we are always putting new. That's the only thing that sits on the desk anymore in all the hotel rooms is the True West magazine. So we get a lot of advertising with people that are staying in hotels. That's the only piece of marketing material we have in the rooms now.
Then do we have a motion? And you can decide how many you'd like to approve and which ones you'd like to feature in, based on that calendar. If you'll take a peek at it.
What do we normally do, Marty?
We normally do the annual travel issue, the historic railroads and scenic highways. We usually feature the Highway of Legends and the Santa Fe Trail. And then October, we usually do the Western Art and we feature A.R. Mitchell Museum. Those are the 3 that we have typically done in the last 3 years.
Yep, sounds great to me.
I say we do whatever it takes to get size wish.
There you go, yay, there's a true comrade.
So April, July, August, and October,
Yes.
those 3 at a full page.
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Just that, I mean, really, I know Sherry's been part of the, I don't know her personally, but I know she, because of the paperwork, she's been part of it for a while. I would really like to have the opportunity, or for you, to just see to her what always keeps us from that #1 spot, because it's been so many years.
I think what could help is maybe a different logo, not a logo at the top, but something at the top, like saying, Colorado's best kept secret is now.
Oh, right.
And they will
Something
design
like
our ad.
They will design it?
They will design our ad.
What if we invited her to come visit?
If she'll come visit, we'll come visit, we can give her a presentation.
You need something that pops.
Yeah, yep, I know. Okay.
Okay, we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The Colorado National Parks advertising is your second piece, and this piece is the one that generates reader leads, so on the 3rd page of that packet, we usually do a full page advertisement. They give us custom content on their website. They replicate the ad and they edit it for their digital editions. It's featured in mycoloradoparks.com, which is a website. So we have our own custom content on there. They integrate it into the New Mexico and Colorado Parks itinerary on the website. And then there's a PDF download of the ad edit within the online itinerary. The National Park newsletter also features us in January. Last year we got 229 clicks. They have a Facebook page where we're featured. So the first post is January 5th. There was 25,000 impressions, 352 clicks, multiple engagements. The second post is made in August, and we haven't got the results from that yet because the boost was not complete at the time that they sent this. But we received 2,305 leads from that. And as you know, those leads that I receive are sent out on a weekly basis, and we do send out our visitor guide.
So this is the program, just as educational if it matters. This is the program where people go to Colorado.com and they want to get our digital piece of advertising, and they fill in the blanks. And they get this
That one is different than this one.
Okay,
This is National Parks, that's CTO.
okay. So
This is National Parks, so, yeah, I didn't bring the magazine with me, I do have it at the office, I'll get it to you if you like, but it generates leads on a regular basis. The Colorado Official State Vacation Guide is what you're talking
I'm
about.
talking about Chris.
And that's, yes. No, Chris is Go Colorado.
Go Colorado.
That's a different website.
And,
But yeah, this is national
and
parks.
we've had a full page on this.
We have had a full page on this.
Is, the one thing that I'd like to do is there, and I don't know if that's possible, but I would like to be able to put a picture from somewhere on the top of Fisher's Peak or somewhere up there looking down at the city as to, this is the beginning of Colorado right here from the southern part.
So
You
Carlos,
know,
did you see that? Hear that? We need a shot from the top of Fisher's Peak that shows
Somewhere,
us down below.
somewhere up higher where the town is visible and I've been at one point where the the lake is visible. You can see the lake, you can see the Twin Peaks, you can actually see part of the city. And
If you go with Crystal Driving at CPW through all the process at Fisher's Peak,
Mhm.
they did a video and they did some other stuff, so they do have, you probably can get maybe some pictures
Yeah.
from that shows
I-
all that.
And I think that's what we need, because this is from this southern part of Colorado looking out, and this, you know,
Yeah, I have a lot of those shots already. I've already made. I don't know if you've seen my postcards that are around town that I put up.
I really would like to see it. I really would like to see it shot that way, and I think that would be good for this magazine.
Okay, so motion
Motion.
to move forward or not?
I make a motion, we repeat what we did last year with
With keeping in mind Tom's thoughts.
Well, can we see the copy before it goes to print?
Oh, yeah.
That would be really nice. And I mean, this is kind of one of the challenges is that I think like a lot of the advertising, the consistency across the board is where there's some challenges, right? And so it'd be nice to see the copy before these go out and, you know, and again, still work with somebody to maybe improve our design and our concepts.
The copy is always given to the board for approval before it's put into any magazine. And since you are
Fairly new.
going to hire a marketing person, then, I mean, they would answer to you. So, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Um,
Okay, Miles Partnership is the last one, and that's the one that I showed you on the side. So in that, marketing opportunities, this is the insertion order. So this one is the piece that is the biggest piece that we do because it goes into the Colorado State Vacation Guide. And it's also the priciest. But we have been advertising a full-page ad in the Colorado Vacation Guide for the last 9.5 years. And it generates, I know he has the analytics here somewhere.
Well, the toughest part about this is that it is the most expensive ad that we put out. The years that we haven't advertised in the Colorado Tourism magazine was the years that we got the most public scrutiny for not doing it. And those years were years that we were lean and the bill was $15,000 or $13,000, and we're talking about years ago, so we didn't. But also, if you expect a CTO to come and involve those grants and be part of them, you have to be part of the booklet as we see it too, and surely our relationship is better with them since we started doing that. So in my mind, I always want to move forward with this, because I never want to let the public down in disappointment when they see Colorado tourism guides everywhere, but Trinidad's name's not in it.
Is this promoted through the CTO?
It is, this is the CTO, Miles Partnership is their marketing agency.
So I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and do what we've done many years, including last year, for the one page.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
And of course, again, we need to see the advertising.
Other items of discussion as needed.
So this piece here is the entire marketing opportunities available through the CTO. I just included this for your review. You can take this home. There's multiple opportunities out there for advertising through the Colorado Tourism Office. There's event listings that we probably need to get with maybe Amanda at the chamber on, so that she can encourage her businesses to do their event listings on site. The more listings we have for our town, the more visibility we have. So, I mean, that's something we obviously have to get on there. Get on. But their reach is like millions of people, so If we could get that message across to our businesses, then I think they'd understand. But take a look at that, and that's all I have.
One of the things I was gonna mention is for 2023, I'm getting with Crystal Dryling to see if there's gonna be an additional, I think 17 miles of trails to the peak in 2023,
Wow,
with a trail to the peak. So that would be something maybe to
Right.
awesome.
consider being able to utilize in 2023. The other thing I was gonna ask you guys is back in 2018 or 2019, that car show, the National Car Show, where they sell all these old
Right.
vehicles, and they were supposed to feature Trinidad. Did that ever get featured nationally?
I brought that up a couple meetings back, and it seems that we've lost that because of COVID.
Now, did we have to pay for that? Did you guys-
We did.
$10,000.
Can you guys ask for reimbursement on that?
We cannot because in
Because
their
they-
contract, they had a clause that protected them from having to reimburse us. I think it was, causes of nature or, pandemics.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it another shot though,
Yeah,
as a good guy.
I mean, as a thing of them
I'd be
getting
very,
that,
I'd
as
be
a
very,
thing of getting that money, they do it every year still, so I don't know why they got the money, so.
thing about it is, I mean, when they did it, was that 2018 or 2019?
It was 2019.
19, yeah, because COVID came out right after that.
But maybe we could get with,
They just kept pushing it back and back and back and back.
Well, and Rodney at Art Cartopia
Yeah,
also
right.
invested in that and they lost their money.
I think they were, I mean, almost like a scam.
Well, you know what,
did you talk with the city attorney on that?
I did. And he looked at the contract. That's why I could come back and say that.
but maybe a letter to them, with either city council, the mayor, or our signature saying, like, we'd like to revisit this again. We're now out of COVID. We understand that happened during that.
Right.
We'd like a discount and be involved in it somewhere if your shows are still going on, even an ad.
Or was there any content done? How far did they get
They
with that?
did get some
Yeah,
stuff.
because they did get some stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they interviewed me.
even with the
Yeah.
content.
Yeah,
that
they
they have.
interviewed the mayor.
So if we could revisit it that way.
Asked for a discount.
Yeah, I mean,
As for
I
total,
wouldn't start with a discount, but
No,
I might end with a discount.
I would say a total refund.
total freebie.
well,
Yeah.
I always like a win-win
credit.
scenario, so I wouldn't mind it very much if somehow we could be facilitators to make it not so bad for them by us talking negatively about them, but instead for them to kind of do the right thing and us to work with them to try to do that and try to jump back in and then go from there.
And if I remember correctly, I think Les did send them a letter.
Oh, that's good,
So we'll get back.
okay.
Next meeting, September the 14th, 2022, will be a work session. Adjournment at 9:54 a.m. Thank you, everybody.
Good job, guys.
Thanks, guys, thanks.
Wow, coming up almost an hour.
For the record.